And then my last one was a charcuterie sandwich.
Which is basically just a sandwich.
Welcome to the Sunday Reset. I'm Jen.
And I'm Jill. And this week we're giving you a peek inside our spending plans, 6 super yummy recipes for your meal plan inspo, and exactly what you should do if you want to save $10,000.
All right, let's get into our weekly money move. Every Monday, we share a move that you can do during the week that will help you organize or grow your money in some way. And if you want to see the videos we record for that explaining what the money move is, head to Weekly Money Move on Instagram, and we have videos for everything. Also, join the friend letter at frugalfriendspodcast.com. We send it out there in text version every Monday as well. So those are the 2 places where you can find out what the money move is and how to do it, why it's important. So this past week's money move was to create a spending plan.
Which is a big deal for you because you typically don't.
But I did, because when we said our one financial goal is, ours personally was to make a spending plan for 3 months, like back to back. And we are still in that 3 months.
Yeah.
So how convenient that would be the goal. It's not like I knew that this was coming or anything.
It's not like we do this for ourselves at all.
So yes, my goal was to budget April, May, and June, and to check in once a week. So I do have my spending plan, and I did check in it. It's only 1 week has passed because we're recording this pretty early.
Yeah.
So I have been doing that. And because I made our spending plan for April, I was actually able to increase my giving because I noticed one of my mortgages decreased.
Whoa.
So that is budgeting rooted in real numbers.
Oh, that's exciting. How is it going for you? Are you hating every minute because you're not a typical budgeter, or is this helpful? Is it revealing anything? Are you enjoying any part of the process?
It is keeping my mind more on the numbers and more on the transactions. I think this is something, which is why budgeting is so important to us. We have our own budgeting spreadsheet that we will link to in the description. And it's really important if you're starting out with frugality to be manually tracking transactions. And once you've done it for a while and you've kind of gotten a groove with values-based spending, that becomes less important. So I use Monarch and have all of my transactions automatically update. I have a widget on my phone where I can see them. And it also just helps me make sure that I'm the one making all the transactions. It's not like somebody else.
Yeah.
So it has been helpful in I am now more cognitively aware of what I want to spend and what I am spending.
Yeah.
So there have been some rogue transactions come up that I'm interested this Sunday. Well, I guess it would be today if we were really recording this on a Sunday.
I mean, we do.
So today, when I check in to see how I am going to need to switch some things around. And so I'm interested to see how that will go.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm with you.
Yeah, no, it's doing this budgeting for at least a couple months a year, I think is clutch. And it is something I've gotten out of the habit of doing. And I'm at a point where I need to get back to it.
You like to visit these financial principles and then divulge and form your own path. But then you'll come back and you'll utilize it as a true north, and then veer off.
All of this stuff is a true north. It's not like you're going to go broke if you don't do it, but it is a true north to re-regulate yourself.
Yeah. So for me, I've got a spending plan in a spreadsheet.
And you love the checker.
I do. Every 2 weeks, I am in there. So However, that doesn't mean that there's not new ways to approach a spending plan. And so for me, it was looking at some influx of cash from not just insurance, but also our tax refund and making a spending plan for what we were going to do with that money towards the house and other things. So for us, with so much needs to happen with the house. So pretty much all of it is going there. So creating a spending plan around how are we going to allocate these different monies? What is most priority between the roof and sealing up the house and repairing certain things that were damaged from the previous hurricane? So still recovering in a way, and we weren't even hit as badly as other people were.
Yeah.
So that's how we've kind of approached the spending plan recently, and it is pretty much all going to renovation. So thrilled to have finally gotten a tax refund this year, but it is going to a roof and siding and paint.
Yeah.
But
It's so fun. So fun.
the spending has a plan.
Yes. So remember, if you want to get these money moves in your inbox every Monday, frugalfriendspodcast.com, sign up for the friend letter, and go follow at Weekly Money Move on Instagram. Tired of spending hours hunting for deals that aren't really deals?
That's why we use Brad's Deals. They are a free site where real people find real discounts on over 4,000 trusted stores.
AI has not mastered the art of keeping up with the ever-changing deal landscape. That's why the team at Brad's Deals are all humans. Users can also set up deal alerts for specific products or categories and get notified when relevant deals are posted.
From laptops and sneakers to kitchen gadgets and even travel, Brad's Deals curates the best deals available daily. No coupon clipping required.
Just join their free email list, get vetted deals sent to your inbox, and boom, done. No sketchy third-party sellers.
Ready to stop overpaying and start stacking savings on the things you were already planning to buy?
Click the link in the description. It's free and your wallet will thank you. We're going to give you some inspiration for your meal plans based on what we experienced with our own. So remember the viral feta pasta from social media like a few years ago? So it's cherry tomatoes and a block of feta and some oil and some other things. And it did not seem appetizing, but I tried it and it was so good. That recipe still exists.
Right.
And I'm like, I really like this. Why did I only make it one time?
Right.
So I made that again.
Okay.
So I dropped the recipe. Well, all these recipes are in the description for the video, but in case you also forgot about it, it's still good.
So is the feta warmed and then put over the pasta? Okay.
So you actually bake the feta with tomatoes and you roast it for about 45 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah. So everything is roasted and good, and you're cooking the pasta separately. And then you're mixing everything up with a little bit of pasta water. Always save a little bit of pasta water. You never know if you'll need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is so good. It is it.
I love
it.
feta.
I love, and you're going to love this.
Okay.
You're going to love it with maybe some chicken. I forgot actually to cook the chicken while the stuff was baking. I had plans to put chicken with it, but what are you going to do? So the next night I have chicken.
What'd you do with it?
I put just a seasoning blend that I had, a jerk seasoning blend.
Nice.
And roasted it when I was making something else, probably one of the HelloFresh meals that we got.
Yeah.
So that was, and actually I made rice and chicken.
Yeah.
Kind of for leftovers for the week. And that's basically what my kids have eaten all week. They just ate rice and chicken.
And you know what? Kids, this is my hot take. Kids don't need variety. I mean, they do need nutrition, but they're not out here thinking, why am I eating the same thing over? They just want consistency and they want to be fed.
Yeah. So it was great. Protein from the chicken, carbs from the rice, and then there was a little bit of butter in the rice. So that was a little bit of fat.
Of course there is.
It's chicken thighs too. So
yeah.
all your macros.
I do love chicken thighs. I have yet to do it.
Boneless, skinless, baby.
Gotta
do it. And then my last one was a charcuterie sandwich.
So this basically just a sandwich. Okay, tell us more about what's a charcuterie sandwich.
Okay, here's the thing. I bought some delicious bread from Costco that was still warm when I brought it home.
Oh, yes.
And then I bought a charcuterie thing from Costco because I wanted it.
Uh-huh.
And so I've just been snacking on the two separately. And then one night for dinner, I was like, I want them together.
Mm-hmm.
There they go.
Yeah.
And so this recipe, so I just did it just like, fast and loose, like meat on bread. This recipe in the description is actually a charcuterie sandwich recipe. And this is what I wanted. In my head, this is what I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't have any of the stuff for it.
Right.
So just know that it is a delicious looking recipe, but it will be delicious even if you don't have all the stuff.
Mama's got to make do.
As long as you have meat, charcuterie, cured meats, and some bread.
Yeah.
That's what you need. If you like those things separately, you might like those things together.
Well, and I imagine you could probably do the jams and the pickled things.
This has a olive relish or something, like a pepper jelly relish thing.
Honestly, charcuterie is what teaches us how to build a sandwich. It really should be
It's a
those
deconstructed
things,
sandwich.
the pickled stuff, the jams, the meats and cheeses, the bread.
Yeah. Like we like them on a board.
The key to making a good sandwich.
Just replace your charcuterie board with a slice of bread.
Yeah. Yes. Make the board
the bread
your meal.
Don't eat the board.
Okay.
Tell me about your week, Jill.
For me, what did I do? Okay. I had barbecue chicken sandwiches, which was from leftover. You're just going to hear me pulling things from the freezer because, like I said, my spending plan is on renovations. So we are working our jobs during the day and outside working on our house in the evenings, and there is no time. But all of you can relate, right? None of us have time. We're tired.
We're not chefs here.
No.
We're not doing that stuff.
So back a while ago when I had done the whole roast a bunch of chicken and then shred it in the stand mixer, I had put some away in the freezer. So this was me now pulling it back out of the freezer and finding uses for it. So one use was barbecue chicken sandwiches. The recipe I linked to here looks real good. I did not do the slaw. I did not home make much. I just didn't do much.
But you had a week of slaw. Like a few weeks ago, you had so much slaw.
I couldn't make more slaw. I couldn't do more slaw.
More another week of slaw.
Rest assured that just shredded chicken with barbecue sauce on a bun is fantastic.
Meat, bread.
Yeah. If you happen to have pickles, that'd be great. I just did some sliced cucumbers on the side, so I felt like I was getting a little bit of veggies into my gullet, but that was one meal. Then we did steak and a baked potato another day. And that's so easy. It's minimal amounts of time. The steak takes 10 minutes to cook. So the recipe I linked to is to do it in a cast iron. Obviously, I did not use a fresh sprig of rosemary. I'm not going out to the store for that. Just butter, salt, pepper, you're fine.
Dried rosemary.
I honestly love it more than on a grill, which I know is wild to say, but a cast iron skillet steak is...
I'll agree with you. Honestly,
so
on a
good.
cast iron,
it gets
clutch.
This crispy outer layer, and then you can cook it to your desired doneness on the inside. So good. And obviously, a baked potato is just you thinking ahead and putting it in the oven for 45 minutes. But so that's a super easy one. And then we had some enchiladas this week. The super, super easy kind, though. So I linked to this recipe is literally called Easy Enchiladas. So you're welcome.
Yes.
And there's another use for some of that shredded chicken. and cheese and a can of enchilada sauce and some tortillas. And you know what? Get your fruit and veggies in a smoothie. Watch back to some of the other Sunday resets where I talk about my smoothie recipe.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about a listener question.
Yes. Okay. I love this listener question. How do I know if I'm saving in the right ways? I want to save on the big things so I don't have to worry as much about the small things. Yes. I mean, that is the right question. How do I save on the big things so I don't have to stress myself out on the small things? Like, what are the big things? And so in our book, Buy What You Love Without Going Broke, we talk about the big three, which is housing, transportation, and food. But there are a couple other big things that literally can save us thousands of dollars every year. Like not just once, but every year. Like 10, we did the math, and on all of the 10 things that we're about to say is over $12,000 every year.
That's a little conservative, and you'll see why.
Yes, we are conservative.
So the first on our
money.
estimates. Okay. Woo. Number one, we keep our car expenses low. Drop it
You
to the
especially.
low. Yeah. So we save at least $2,000 a year, although mine is through the roof, on only having one car. So that means only one car insurance, only maintenance for one car. I calculated it and then, of course, went to the internet to make sure that this was accurate. But we spend, and all of us on average, about $12,000 to $15,000 annually, sometimes even more than that, on our vehicles, between depreciation, maintenance, fuel, of course, insurances. And if you have a car payment, it's more than $12,000 annually. And then once you have the car paid off, you might be dropping down to about $12,000, but it's about $1,000 a month. So for us to only have one vehicle saves us $12,000 to $15,000 a year. I could be done with this episode, honestly.
She's done. And the rest will be about how I save money.
Of course, that can't be for everybody, but take a look and see, can we survive? Can we do this thing with one vehicle with maybe other types of transportation? So we also have scooters. And so that allows us to get around within our city. And we've never had a situation where we both separately, Eric and I, need to go to places that would require a vehicle, like driving the highway or something.
Yeah.
So that's worked for us.
And e-bikes, please check out the episode we did with Kevin Ha on transportation via e-bike. It is one of my favorite episodes, and it might change your mind about how feasible it is to trade a car for an e-bike, even if you have kids, even if you live in the frigid north. And so for me, we do have two cars, but we save on, we bought used, and when we purchased the car, we really thought hard about the sunk cost. And so this, I detail it in the book, but just a short version is that there was a feature. I almost bought a car at a dealership that had $2,000 extra in dealer fees because I wanted this one feature in the car. And at the last minute, I was like, why would I pay $4,000 more? Why would I pay $4,000 more for this feature? Essentially, that's what I'm doing. I'm paying $4,000 because this car is $4,000 more than the other car at the other dealership. For this one feature. Why? And it was because the cars were the same price, but for some reason, this dealership had $4,000 in dealer fees. And I was there for hours and I could not negotiate anymore. So I just left and went to the other dealer. And I don't have adaptive cruise control, but I saved $4,000. And then I looked up how much adaptive cruise control costs to install, and it's $2,000.
Yeah. No, you haven't installed it, but you could.
I could. But I was like, I wouldn't pay $4,000 to get installed. I wouldn't pay $2,000. So really being wise when you are at the dealership, like even if the discount or the sale is bigger on the new car, calculate the total cost to own. And don't buy a hoopty just because you can buy it in cash. Really calculate the total cost to own. Maybe worth taking out a low interest car loan so that you can work on your house, the house you're flipping, without getting a home equity line of credit or any of that other stuff that's higher interest. Like, just do the total cost to own evaluation.
Okay. Second way, we cancel or downgrade subscriptions constantly.
Always.
Not just one time, just always. And this could save around $1,500 a year. So most Americans spend about $133 per month on unused subscriptions, streaming services, premium apps, that Apple iCloud that you just pay for every month and it's $3 and you're like, whatever, I'll just keep paying it. Monthly boxes, unused gym memberships. I see you. I hear you. Right now, my gym membership is pretty much unused. Normally, it's very used, but we are in a month where it's just not possible. So we're not talking about like stuff like that. But if that season for you has been quite a long time, then it may be time to stop. Now that you're looking at your spending plan more closely, how much do you spend a month on subscriptions?
Oh gosh, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. It's not crazy. And we don't currently have any subscriptions that we don't use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not $133 a month, probably.
I know. Yeah. So, but we are considering actually increasing our gym membership to a different gym that has childcare so that we can utilize it more.
Oh, that's
we have
smart.
fewer barriers. So
that's
sometimes
smart. That
is also an option.
Okay. Third,
we cut our restaurant spending. So you could do this. This has diminishing returns, right? So, but the average American household spends about $230 to $300 per month on restaurants and takeout. For some people, it's more. But if you were to cut that,
who's she pointing to?
you could save about $1,500 a year by just shaving $30 a month off of your restaurant budget. That is like one meal at Chipotle a month.
Yeah. This is always the area
family.
that I attack in our budget, and Eric hates it. Anytime I think we need to rein it in, I am slicing and dicing, eating out. It is one of the lowest barriers to entry in slicing and dicing.
You do spend well over the American household average.
When we are looking to save in this category and still, but yet not cut it entirely, we will split when we go out. We will not get drinks. Like, there are also other ways that you can still go out, but not be spending $50 to $75 every time you go out. So
I honestly think the average is low, but just cut by $30 a month and you'll save a good chunk this year. We also stick to a list at the grocery store.
Yes, we do. We both do.
This is important. I would say even more important than the restaurants, because impulse purchases at the grocery store do cost you so much. The average American makes 3 to 4 impulse purchases per grocery trip, totaling $30 to $50 weekly. And the average household actually goes to the grocery store 1.5 times a week. So every other week, you're not making one trip to the grocery store, you're making 2. Is what that is. And that results in over $2,000 in impulse buys at the grocery store alone every year. Yes.
Yeah. This is a big one. One of the ways that I work around this is making a list. So this is going to go hand in hand with meal planning. So before I'm at the grocery store, I'm making my list of what do I need to get to supplement the meals that I'm planning on having with what I already have in the fridge, freezer, pantry. And then I allow myself up until the moment I step through the grocery store door to add to the list if I think of something as I'm going. Once I step through, that's it. And I kind of gamify it. Even like if Eric and I are there together, we have a shared list that populates on both of our phones. So sometimes we'll divide and conquer if we really want to cut time down and just check things off the list. But we don't get anything that's not on the list. Or sometimes if we want to like be a little crazy, it's like one additional thing that's not on the list. And that helps us to stick to it. But yeah, I mean, between how many impulse purchases happen at the grocery store to how many times we're going to the grocery store. I know you don't go to the grocery store.
I do it all on an app and pick it up, and that's it. I do not walk into a grocery store. I do not browse.
I've also learned that when you order groceries online, you often are more alerted to what's on sale, where I might just grab for the loose onion. When I see it in the app, I can realize, oh, the bag of onions is actually less expensive than me getting the loose onion. So, or vice versa, whichever way, you can be more aware of what you're spending per item. So that's another way to get that one down. Number 5, we do not carry credit card debt. And this can save us at least $16,000 a year.
100.
Sorry, 1,600. Sorry.
People could.
That's where the comma goes, is after the one. The median American carries a revolving credit card balance of approximately $7,000.
That's median. So that's taking out the people who have a ton of credit card debt and the people who have just a smidgen. That's the median.
So if the average annual percentage rate is around 24.23% as of April 2025, then this balance can accrue approximately $140 of interest charges per month, which is actually closer to $1,700 a year that you would be spending on that. So if we're not carrying that degree of credit card debt or any credit card debt at all, this is the types of savings we're talking just on interest.
Absolutely. And 6, we keep our housing costs low. So if you found a way to monetize your space to make just $200 a month on it, you could save $2,400 a year. So personally, we rent out a portion of our home, either on Airbnb, Furnish Finder, Zillow, whatever. And that helps us keep our mortgage low. So we have 2 properties. One's a long-term rental. One is our house, and it has a little unit on the back. And those rent from those 2 things does not cover all of the mortgage, but it keeps our mortgage rate much lower than it would be, cuts it in half. And I don't think that that's the solution for everyone. Honestly, it's not the solution for me. I don't love it, but just think about, how could I make $200 a month from my space?
Yeah, for us, we lived in an RV for several years. Obviously, that's an extreme way of saving on housing, but that saved us tens of thousands of dollars. And now, currently being in a house, we rent our space out on Peer Space. So you do the Airbnb thing where people are spending nights. Peer Space is an opportunity to rent out portions of your home hourly. So I don't have as many bookings as maybe I would if I were to have an Airbnb, but people are staying in my house and I can make more per rental. So you just put an hourly amount on it. People might rent it for a party or a meeting or a small retreat, whatever they want to do with the space. And that has made us a decent amount of money. So one of the ways that we can look at saving money is by making money towards these expenses and putting it directly towards my housing.
Optimize the things that you already have. 7 is we travel smart, not less. And this saves about $500 a year. We use credit card points and travel rewards to cover our hotels and flights. And that's really all we focus on. We try to get hotels and flights covered so that we can have fun, without worrying about the budget.
Number 8, we simplify gifting and holidays, which can save at least $500
conservatively.
A year. Yeah. I mean, we know in the last spending intervention, or one of the spending interventions we did with our friend Sam, she spent $1,000 just on gifts, not even travel and food and any other extra things. So yeah, I mean, depending on how much you are typically spending on gifting and holidays, this could be an area to look at. I'm not talking about no longer being generous or being stingy, but maybe being more creative about the ways that we are generous and how we're gifting. Do we have things already within our possession that we can give as gifts, whether that's plants or consumables or just time. If somebody else is doing a renovation, I'll tell you, they'd love your help. That'd be very generous.
Very generous.
Yeah.
But do not ask us.
No.
We are done with that.
Yeah. So just considering how much you're spending on these things and where you might be able to trim a little bit.
Yeah. 9, we are constantly lowering our bills. This can save about $300 a year. Personally, we just got a notice that our internet rate was increasing $10 a month. Travis made a quick phone call and actually got the same level of service for $5 less per month. So it not only keeps it from increasing, but in the off chance you get lucky, you could lower it. So, and then also stay on top of like heating and cooling costs. I think that is the easiest way to lower our electric bill or utility bills is to make sure we've got that weather stripping, we're insulating, we're just staying on top of those low cost and really impactful methods.
We also automate savings and budget tracking. So this could easily save $500 a year from lifestyle creep. So when you already have it automated to be investing in retirement or even going over to a savings account for your emergency fund, then as you make more money or get a raise, then that money is still coming out, right? Then we're not now needing to decide, oh, I'm actually not going to put as much money away. I'm going to go spend it over here. So keeping a pulse on that and having it automated can be a real big game changer.
Yeah. And all of those things in total cost will save you $12,000 a year. It's crazy how much these big things, if you just focus on them, can really like help you out so much in the long run.
And if you want more lists of ways that you can save money, check out this video about how we are so frugal, 50 things we don't spend money on anymore.